The day you sign a client is the day you start losing them, because every relationship has a natural endpoint, and your job is to not avoid it, it's to manage it so well that when it comes, the client chooses to keep going. Because most people hear the word renewal and then they instantly think about their follow-up process that kicks in 2 weeks before the client is about to end. And I know, because I used to think the same. But client relationship and client retention is not a conversation or a process you have at the end of the period together. It is an invisible standard that you set from before the client has even paid you, and then you maintain it throughout the entire relationship. The renewal towards the end is just the moment where all of that work either pays off or doesn't. Because the client who stays the longest are usually not the one that was sold the hardest on the next step together. They're the ones you serve the best throughout the entire partnership. And in my first coaching business, I struggled with renewing clients because I only started caring about them towards the end of the relationship. So now, in the digital coffee shop, my renewal rate of existing clients has been above 60% for the last 2 years in a row, and it's the backbone of how I'm able to take home 500 grand a year in profit, because my lifetime value makes everything so much easier. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I go about client retention, from the first piece of content and to the moment that they ask for a renewal. Every piece of content that you have ever posted, every word you have put out on the big internet, and every case study, every client win, and every story you've shared, all of it is already shaping the clients who are about to pay you. Because most people think about client lifetime value and it starts at the onboarding call. But it doesn't. It starts the moment someone finds you. Because the clients that you attract are a direct reflection of the standard that you have set in public. So if you show up consistently, if you go first, if you admit your mistakes, if you show the good then the bad, and you're transparent on how you work and what it takes and what you believe, you will attract people who want to do the same. You'll get people who are bought into the vehicle, not just the destination. People who are willing to do the work, and also the boring daily work, because they watch you do it in real time. And that matters more than any onboarding call that you will ever run. So what I've realized is that the sale does not end when the payment is through and the client starts to work with you. Because a client relationship, there has to be a sale every day. The client have to sell themselves on making the YouTube video when they don't feel like it. They have to sell themselves on following up on the pipeline when it feels pointless and they're doing it for the 4th time. They have to sell themselves on the plan when nothing is working and everything feels overwhelming. Running a business requires doing things every single day before the results arrive, and the only clients who are willing to do so are clients who are bought into the long term before they got on a call with you. So your content is not really just marketing. It's a filter. It's telling the right people this is how we work here, and it is telling the wrong people that this is probably not for you. So if you get that filter right, then everything from that point on downstreams, and it gets a lot easier. The renewal rate, the relationship, the day-to-day. Clients come to you because at the end of the day, they want what you have. In my case, that's a 500 grand a year profit consulting business with no sales calls, and the majority of clients coming in warm through a content ecosystem. It's impossible for me to just snap my fingers and give it to people in 90 days. It took me 3 years to get here, and pretending otherwise would be one of the most dishonest things that I could probably do as a mentor. But here is what I can do in the short term. I can give my clients an initial win, initial confidence, initial proof that the roadmap works. Because once someone has felt that first result, however small, they are far more likely to stay committed to the long-term plan. So the short-term win is not the end destination. It is the self-confidence that makes the journey a lot easier. And I think this is where I personally was wrong for the first few years in business, because I would pile everything onto the client at once. The full system, the full strategy, the full transformation. All of it in the first 30 days, because I wanted to do my best, right? But my clients just felt overworked and overwhelmed. And not because the work is wrong, but because I didn't ask how much time, energy, and availability that the individual client had. I didn't look at their personal situation before designing the roadmap. Because setting the right individual expectations is crucial. So I always tell my clients the same thing now, is that I want to install things in your business today that you will harvest fruits from in 3, 4, 5 years. I'm probably not going to be around anymore, a part of the picture. But the foundation we built together should still bring you great results. And that is the whole point. Because anyone can turn on ads, slap on a money-back guarantee, book 100 sales calls, and get really cool screenshots for the Instagram. But that is not delivery. That is hurting your clients' businesses, and you have a big responsibility as a mentor. So real delivery, in my opinion, is short-term value that builds confidence, and then the long-term plan broken into milestones, so that the client always knows where they are going, how they are getting there, and they can see the path from the initial win to the big milestone. Three things in this segment here, okay? Unscalable tasks, honesty, and visible wins. So the first is do the unscalable things. A coaching and consulting business is a relationship business. And relationships are not leveraged. They are not automated. They are not productized. They are time, energy, and personalized effort directed at one specific human being. So a voice note cannot be automated, right? An extra call cannot be scaled. Staying on a group call 20 minutes longer won't pay you back tenfold, right? Making an additional resource for a client who's stuck is for sure not efficient. But none of that matters, because it's the whole point. It's once you start calculating the hours you spend on actual extra work for clients, you'll notice something strange that I did. It's that those are actually the highest leverage hours in my business, because the clients who feel heard and seen and cared for, they do not leave. They renew, they refer, they stay for years, and they're happy. So the math on unscalable work is actually better than you think, just not front-end and on paper. Secondly, the honesty part. A lot of people over-promise because they are afraid that if they tell the truth, the client will not sign. So they compromise the timeline, inflate the outcome, soften the hard part and tell, hey, it's not that hard, it's super easy, 90 days, we get it done. And that is what actually destroys the relationship. So if you can be honest and do the unscalable work, then you are very far. And then the last thing, of course, make sure your clients know that they are winning. And not just your version of winning, but the client's version of winning. So for myself, right, I've published hundreds of videos online. Hitting publish is not a personal milestone for me anymore. But for my client who's been putting it off for 3 months and finally got a video out, that is everything to them. And if you do not acknowledge it, they will not feel it, because they will base their winning on your business and your progress. But winning is subjective, right? A quick voice note that literally just says, hey brother, incredible video, good job getting it out. That will cost you 30 seconds, but it will mean more to the relationship that you can ever imagine, because you are acknowledging the individual client's win. Then we have the renewal conversation, and it is not a sales call, people. It's not a resell here, okay? It is a natural continuation of a relationship that has hopefully already been working. And yet I see so many people that are terrified of it, because they feel like they are asking for something. They feel like they're pushing. They feel like they're bringing up money at the end of a relationship, and that will destroy it. The thing that's already built, kind of, right? But here's how I think about it, and it helped me a lot. If a client has a new problem and a new desire, and you are the right person to help them with it, offering continuing to help them is not a disservice, because you have context on the situation that no one else has. You know where they started, you know what broke, you know what worked, and you know what the client is capable of. So if the client had to start over with someone new, it would cost them so much time and trust and energy that they don't really have to spend. So if you just ask if they would like some help, not from desperation, but from a belief that you can help them with the next chapter, and then the way you structure it, I would say depends on where the client is. Because if the client has a clear new goal, then you want to set a time frame and continue at the same price. If it's a bigger goal with more access and speed, make it more expensive and give them more. If they've hit the main thing they came for and just want to stay connected to the group, to community and some tech support, lower the monthly option and make it easier for them to stay. If they love the group in particular, but don't need one-on-one, then drop their price at an extended time frame and then keep going. And a lot of people would see this as a downgrade, right? But it's not. It's a long-term game. So the goal is to never protect the price point and continue at the same package at any cost. The goal with renewing clients is just to keep the relationship alive, because a client on a reduced monthly fee who stays for 2 years is worth 10 times more than a client who paid full price for 3 months and then left. You want to play long-term games with long-term people. It's the most important thing. It's what lifetime value to me really means. Long-term games with long-term people. And it will make you happier. Like, we as humans, we live for good relationships. So with all of this in mind, let me summarize here. Here is how you actually double your client lifetime value. Your content is a filter. So set the standard in public and you will attract clients who are already bought into the long game before they even sign. Focus on short-term wins first, then the long-term plan. You want to give people a proof that the roadmap works before asking them to commit to the full big picture. Do unscalable things, voice notes, extra calls, celebrate small wins, and you want to care for clients, all right? Be honest and set the right expectations. And then when renewal comes around, just make sure that it's a continuation and not a close. You want to ask people if they need more help and play long-term games with long-term people, all right? If you want to go deeper on how to structure your offer and pricing around this model, then you can watch this video next.